What's going on, guys? Brandon here, Legacy Group Real Estate Team. Two quick stories for you today, or Wednesday's success stories. We have one about pricing and one about the options you have as a seller. And we had a seller recently, I had someone on the east side of town, and they wanted to list their property at a certain price. And they wanted to go up in the 220s. And I told them 212, we had an unbelievable case study actually. So we ended up running their comps in July and then again in August when they listed, and we had comps showing homes that were still on the market in August that were on in July because they were above the fair market value, and they were sitting there. And then we had homes in August that were already pending that weren't on the previous comparable study. They were not on that, so that means they had already accepted an offer within 30 days. So probably within a week or two, they accepted an offer because they were at fair market value, and they sold like that. And when you overprice, you end up chasing the market down. And whether you're selling a home or a car, it doesn't matter. Whether you're selling something on eBay, it does not matter. So we end up pricing. We met in the middle, and I wanted to be at 212. We ended up meeting at 219. I told them, you know what? It's probably gonna be 212 because everything else, we had like 3 or 4 great comps, so showing us exactly 212. And they wanted to be in the 220s, like 225. And we ended up selling for, you guessed it, 212. Now, we ended up selling for 219 as a cash offer. However, there was a $7,000 assessment. So ended up selling for 212 because lo and behold, there was assessment on it. The sellers could have maybe gotten away if they really fought it and maybe not paid the assessment because it was a couple of yearly thing that was going to be over a couple of years. But in general, assessments have to be paid up front. So could you win that argument? You could. It'd be tough though. However, the buyers came in and said, well, hey, the prices are usually about 212, exactly what I told the sellers, and hey, there's an assessment for $7,000, so it kind of works out perfectly. We'll do 219, but we want you to pay the assessment actually. So they ended up netting that. Now, the price did reflect that in 219. However, they were, the sellers didn't get that. They got the 212, right? So it ended up being exactly what I told them it would be, because the buyers actually threw that on the table and said, we know that the comps are right around here, but we'll compromise and say, hey, if you do this, we'll give you that price. So again, it just goes to show, the whole point is you have to find people that know exactly how to price property. When you're pricing a property as a seller, don't get super greedy with it. I see people do this all the time. They get super greedy and then they end up losing out on more money because instead of selling quickly and fast and efficiently, they end up chasing the market down as they overprice, and then people think there's either something wrong with it or it's overpriced. They know it's one of those two things, and then you chase the market down. So the second story is about options, and we just had another one. We had one in Royal Oak recently in Clawson area, and it was someone who had a home. They lived in it for a long time, about 40 years, and they really wanted to just get out of the home quickly. And this is something that most sellers don't understand. They unfortunately don't understand how to price usually, and a lot of times it's because people they generally don't trust their advisors, which I know is hard to do. Like, I have a hard time with that sometimes as well. But doing a due diligence with your advisors is the most important thing you can do. That way you can trust the advice they're giving you. Here, we gave them different options. As the Legacy Group Real Estate Team, we give sellers options. We either will joint venture with them, we will buy the cash from them, or we will sell it retail. There's many different options that you have as a seller, and seller financing. There's a litany of options, right? So we gave this lady a number of options. She chose a quick cash offer, and she was extremely excited. She didn't want to wait around. She didn't want to sit and hope that someone would come. She didn't want to wait for financing. She wanted to close in 7 to 14 days, cash offer right now. That's just something that most people don't know that exists, because most real estate teams, most real estate agents don't have that ability to give them. And with the world we're entering with Zillow Instant Offers and Open Door and all these different iBuyers and all these million things going on, we're just going to see more of it. If agents don't offer sellers these options and give them these options that they don't know exist, then they're going to fall by the wayside. Mark my words. They are going to be in trouble. So we just had another gentleman in Lake Orion, Rick. He looked at me and was like, he's not a spring chicken. We'll say that. He just said, Brandon, I've sold many homes throughout my life. I've never seen this process before. I've never seen these options that you and your team have given me. And it's pretty cool to do it. It's a win-win wins for everybody. And everyone gets to choose. The seller gets to choose what they want to do. Our team gets to facilitate what the seller wants and give them what they're looking for, because most people just run in and say, I got your comps, let's put it on the market, retail, in the MLS, and hope that someone comes and buys it. But that's not the right situation for every seller. Now, it might work for some sellers, but it's not going to work for every seller. So some people want something different, and a lot of people are afraid sometimes because they don't want the traditional route. So how can you help them? Well, you give them options. We call it the menu of options. So give them a menu of options and let them pick. It's just like, I wish healthcare was like that. I wish you could go to the doctor and be like, I want this or that price. And that's another story for a different day. But you get the picture. We give you a menu of options. Like I said, it could be a cash offer, quick. It could be seller financing, where you become an investor and start making, you don't have to do anything with the home anymore, but you're making money each month at principal and interest, becoming the bank in essence. You could, joint venture on it. We could sell it retail and put a sign in the ground. Heck, we could sell it retail while we're doing some of these other things as well. So there's just many, many things you could do. And I just wanted to share a couple of those stories with you about the importance of selling your home correctly and really, truly having a team and people around you, advisors that can give you, one, the right price, and two, give you options, so that way you're getting exactly what you want and not getting what someone else wants. So I appreciate you guys and your time, your energy. It's the most important asset we have. And let me know what questions, comments, concerns you have about any of this stuff. We love talking about it. And again, I know it's a little bit different, it's a little bit new, it's a different direction the real estate market's going. It's a little different direction over the last year and a half that we started going. And we just look forward to talking to more of you about it. So take care. Let me know what questions, comments, concerns you have. We'd love to answer them. We'll talk to you soon.